Hey everybody, Icy Cat here. Today I've got some exciting new information for you. We have our first trailer for the new map theme park. We're going to take an in-depth look at this and analyze it, break it down, and see what we can figure out. Before we get too far into the video, I just wanted to do a quick mention for my sponsor, GamerLink. It's a great app you can use to find and connect with other players in the Siege community. GamerLink supports over 200 games across all major platforms. It's super user-friendly and has excellent support if you need it. You can even find or create your own clan, recruit members, build your own team, manage your roster, and more. If you want to know more, there's a link in the video description down below. So this is the trailer as it exists right now. This came from one of the Ubisoft European studios, hence the PEGI 18 logo in the corner. The US sites are usually a little slower to get theirs online. Those will probably be up later today. But in the meantime, we're just going to kind of walk through this map and check out what we're seeing here. I'm going to let it play through once in its entirety, and then we're going to slow it down and take a closer look at all the elements we're seeing. As you can see, everything looks really creepy and interesting. This looks like what we have is kind of a haunted house motif. A lot of people thought that maybe that's what we were going to wind up getting, and that appears to definitely be the case. So now that we've seen it all, let's just start over again from the beginning and check things out. So in this opening shot here, we've got an exterior of the area. We can see these kind of abandoned parts of the theme park in the background, and front and center you can see one of our first exterior camera positions. Going ahead to the next screen, then we can see that this is kind of like one of the entrances to the building itself. Again, we get a good shot of the abandoned structures in the background with the Ferris wheel on one side, the roller coaster on the other side. The sky here is very overcast, lending a very creepy vibe overall to the exterior grounds here. Right away, we can see a main entrance here to the structure, and it looks like we can see several windows on the sides as well. Now, this is the top of the structure, the roof where we saw the faceted skylights. This was revealed when the blueprints actually came out a while back last week, and you can see just how well we can see down into the interior of the map looking through the skylights here. In addition to the broken windows, it looks like we might have some possible rappel entry points from this position. It opens into a wider open area, and we can see overgrown vegetation and just like the beat up weathered interior of the inside of the structure. Here we've got another shot of one of the interior rooms. This looks to be like an arcade area. We have a few video game machines, some popcorn machines, a vending machine, a few things like that. If you look closely, you can also pick out a few details here. That one arcade machine back on the left is actually on. It is operating even though the structure is abandoned. Furthermore, on the right side, you can look there and see an arcade machine that has Jaeger and Thermite on it, along with a Platinum 2 symbol for rank. Just a little Easter egg nod to the game. Behind the lit up arcade machine, you can see that there is a stairwell that goes up. So this is a floor that splits more than one level. In fact, directly in the rear, if you look above that fan where the light is, there appears to be a catwalk there. It's kind of next to that like pink neon triangle. And then if you look a little further to the right of that, where there's the fluorescent light fixture that is not actually turned on, it looks like there's a railing that goes there. So this may actually be like a multi-level area where you can fire down from the second floor down to the first and vice versa. I can also see, if you look directly above the air conditioning unit, which is above that stairwell I was talking about before, we have an interior camera mounted. That looks like it's going to give you a great line of sight, possibly depending on what's in front of it, that you might be able to see actually on two levels at once using that. Kind of similar to the main camera that you would see in Cafe Dostoevsky that splits both levels. Here we get a different look at the same room, so we can see the arcade devices here. There looks to be this nice counter for getting down behind for cover, and you can get a look at this other arcade machine as it is on, as well as a look at that stairwell we were talking about earlier. Now we're going to cut to a different room entirely. This one has more of almost like a carnival theme going on. You know, you've got like the pastel blues and pinks present here. This looks to maybe be an area for food or something like that. You see some tables and counters. We do see a barricaded door here. Back behind the counter, of course, we also have a pair of refrigerators. They look like they would both be good points for hard cover positions. And this next place looks like somewhere where somebody was just kind of squatting, maybe some drifters, maybe this is where the White Mass terrorists were hanging out, setting up, but we have like some beds with some pillows. This looks like the inverse angle of the room that we saw from last week's like 2-second quick teaser when the operator was running through a room that looked very much like this. This looks like the opposite angle from that same position. And you can see a few doors here in the background. Again, everything is just falling apart. It is just a complete mess in here. This next image, we're not actually sure what this is showing us. There's some kind of graffiti here. Don't know if this is just like some kind of random graffiti or if this is something to do with maybe a deeper story that's behind it as far as to who is staying here and what's going on. But that does look like a breachable wall for sure. Here we have an exterior entrance zooming in toward one of the areas where you can go through into the main structure. We see some stairs that are back there through that main opening. And now this part of the building is definitely on the creepier side of what we have going on. So we've got this gothic gargoyle clock statue here in the center surrounded by the dual stairs on either side. Some references to undead written on the walls and such on the left side there. And this is definitely the haunted house aspect of this map. As the camera rotates around, you can see that there's a lot more depth. You can see up at the top of the stairs, there's a hallway that goes deeper back, and in the center there, that opens up into quite a few different rooms and areas. This looks like it might be a high traffic area where lots of rotation might occur. And we have another area that goes in here with more of the gargoyles on pedestals. Looks like this is a lot of area that is maybe thick stonework that you could hide behind for cover and not take damage from. Next up, we have this creepy hallway here. So this has a lot of interesting contrast going on between the areas that are lit up versus the areas of shadow. We can see we definitely have a breachable wall on the right side here. It's unknown whether these pink walls are breachable or not. They may be, they may not be. But again, a lot of the haunted house motif carries through to this section as well. And then we finish up with this pair of creepy shots of like a mummy chamber and this other statue, and doesn't really show us much that's going on in the map, but it gives us an overall flavor. As the trailer comes to a close, we get to see more of an overview of the general abandoned theme park as we rise above the main structure here. Of course, those characters do reference Rainbow Amusement Park that has been translated already, and at that point the trailer comes to a close. So that is a look at the new map. We can see what's going on with a lot of the theme that we have here. There's just this really abandoned, run-down feel that the entire map has. Although a theme park by its very nature is someplace that's going to be silly and bright, that is not the case here. Everything is dark and gritty. So that wraps up our first trailer for the new map theme park. What do you guys think? Is this a worthy addition to the map rotation that exists in Rainbow Six Siege? Or is this just going in a direction that you wouldn't like it to? Let me know down in the comments below. You can also share with me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. Make sure you also click on the notification icon. That way you are alerted as soon as I upload new information. As always, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.